go too deep into this, I just want to say the first part of this is going to be spoiler free. It is just going to be our impressions,
spoiler free,
what we think about it, exactly, and how we feel about whether or not you should go see it and why. And then we are going to get into spoilers. So the first part of it, if you haven't seen the movie yet, of course the first question is why not. We'll tell you if you should or shouldn't, but then we'll get into spoilers and we'll let you know when that's going to happen. So let's start with this. How many times have you seen it?
I have seen it once. I plan on going a second.
Okay. I've seen it twice.
Okay.
I plan on going a third.
Okay.
Okay?
I've seen it 3 times so far.
You plan on going a fourth?
Maybe.
Okay. So in other words, we like it. I mean, is that fair to say?
Spoiler free, that is a fair assessment.
That is a fair spoiler free assessment.
Yes.
Fair.
That's fair.
Between us.
Yes.
How many times have we seen it?
Wow. So 3, 2, 1.
Quick mouths.
Yeah. seen it 6 times. 3, 2, 1.
6 times.
6 times.
Between the three of us,
Yeah,
we've seen it 6 times.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this movie broke like 7 records over the weekend.
It did do that.
Okay? And hadn't released in China yet.
Nah.
Man.
They're going to kill it over there.
Right. Okay, so look. Here's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 or 3 main things I kind of want to point out that I think are important about this movie that are not spoilers at all. Okay? And you just can kind of chime in and tell me how you feel about where my assessment is, okay?
Okay, sir. So
here's the first thing. I feel like this movie, first and foremost, the movie has a shiton of characters in it. There's a lot of people in this movie.
It is.
I feel like everybody gets. I feel like everybody gets fair screen time.
Okay.
Which I feel like is an extremely hard thing to do, to pull off, and it still be good. And it is.
And we've seen it happen. They pulled off with Civil War.
They did it with Civil
that was their
War.
first real test run with it. Yeah. And
there's a lot more people in this.
Right. It is. It's a lot.
But I feel like they nail it. Like, I think that there could be a fear going in. Oh man, there's so many people, or like one character's gonna end up getting a lot of focus, and it's gonna feel like it's their movie. It doesn't feel like that.
No, it feels like,
and it feels like a Marvel crossover comic book.
That's exactly what it feels like.
Like
that's
it's
exactly
supposed to.
Like. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't feel like one specific person movie. It doesn't even feel like that's an Avengers movie. It just feels like
a Marvel Cinematic Unit movie.
Cinematic Unit movie.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Unite.
Yes. That's exactly what it feels like.
Okay, so the next thing is I feel like there is an equal split of action, comedy, and drama.
Yes.
It is almost sickening to me how well the dramatic pieces are they're very dramatic.
Yes.
Right? Along with the comedy, which is very fucking funny.
Yes.
And the action. Like, the action is super action-packed. And it's non-stop. It is from the very beginning.
Once it cuts on.
The foot goes on the pedal. Relatively, it doesn't immediately go all the way down. It doesn't immediately, to me, it doesn't immediately go straight to the floor. Let's not pedal to the floor from the very beginning. It's almost like the foot's on the pedal, give it a little gas, and then about 10 minutes in, shove that shit all the way down, son. Like, it just to the floor. We gotta go.
And it doesn't stop.
And it
does not stop for the whole 2.5 hours.
It doesn't stop.
You're either laughing, emotional, or getting excited from the action sequence that you're seeing.
No doubt.
Yes, there's no break.
Doubt. Okay. The third thing is, it has to do with all of those things. The movie itself feels super well paced to me. This is a movie that's 2 hours and 45 minutes long, right? Doesn't feel like a long movie. The pacing of the movie, when I say they start and it doesn't let up, but it's still done in chunks that are like, we're going to give you this much, we're going to move on and give you this much. Then we're going to move on and give you this much. Then we're going to move on and give you this much. Then we're gonna go back and revisit this.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna go back, and you never feel lost. And I feel like one of the smartest things that helps with that pacing and timing, is that to me it does take a cue from some of what they were doing in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
But it also takes a cue just straight from comic books, which is when you're reading a comic book, you turn a page and it's a new setting. There's always like a little box that tells you where you are.
Right.
You flip the page,
Right.
there's a little thing that just says Russia.
Meanwhile.
Right.
So
Meanwhile in Russia.
Yeah.
New York, whatever. Like this, it could be so easy to get lost in what's going on and who is where and what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And this film does such a good job of like, here's a new scene. Boom. Right at the bottom of the screen in big white letters, this is where we are.
Right.
Boom. This is where we are. New scene. This is where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you heard him say it, but you have no idea what he said?
Right.
This is where we are.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just think it does a really good job of that. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree 100%. Like I thought about that with the words on the screen, like that was from Civil War, like how they kind of set it up and
Right.
did like that in Civil War, and they brought it back here using again to tell you where everybody is, what's going on, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was great. I thought it fit perfect.
It allows you mentally to keep an
keep
idea
up.
of what's going on,
Yeah.
timeline, again, who's
Keep
where,
track
and
of
all
what's
that
going
kind
on.
of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. And those are the main things that I feel like I don't have any major issues with this film that wouldn't be spoiler related. So we're not gonna get too into that.
Okay.
There's one thing, and it's nothing that should keep you from going to see this at all. This is a straight up go to the theater and see it movie.
It is.
That's my assessment.
It is. This is the first movie out of all the Marvel movies that I've seen in the theater that if I had the option to hit rewind and watch it over from the beginning, I would have not left the theater and done that.
Right.
I'd have sat right there and just
go again.
Just restart from the beginning and just sat and just did it all over again.
Which is what a lot of people did. Kay went right back and saw it again, right? I mean,
yeah, practically.
Like the next day or whatever, right? Like, yeah. I mean, it was a couple days break in between mine, but
like I woke up the next morning, like around noon. I text my man I want to go see it with, like, dog, can I get this film out of my flipping head? He was like,
yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm sitting here looking at Toya like, you don't understand.
Cause she ain't seen
yeah, she had to work, so we had to give away her ticket.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's right. I remember. Yeah.
And I'm sitting like, you don't understand what I just witnessed.
Nope.
And I need to talk this with you, but I can't.
And that,
so
yeah.
Friday can't get here fast enough. Well, I can take her to see this film,
so you can do it.
So we can discuss.
So I can talk about it.
Yes.
It is. It's time to get.